Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of a D1 athlete and a high school athlete pursuing a scholarship. With a wealth of experience to share, here's Recruit Me CEO Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 241 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Today's episode asks, if a college coach called you today, would you be ready? What would you do? What would you say? How would you respond? As the introduction says, our family has Parker, a pitcher at Northwestern University of the Big Ten Conference, and Sutton, a junior in high school. Sutton is in the middle of his recruiting journey as he weaves through the COVID web of recruiting challenges, deciding what schools he is interested in, how to get a college's attention, writing his introductory emails, and preparing for his ACT testing and preparing for actually finally getting to play a high school baseball game. So Sutton and his high school friends and summer teammates are in the thick of the recruiting process. Sutton recently attended a baseball showcase where he was clocked on how fast he throws from the outfield, how fast he throws from the mound as a pitcher, and he was also clocked on his bat speed and the exit velocity of the ball off the bat. He was also videoed in all these actions. One of Sutton's strengths is his running speed, and the showcase videoed and clocked his and all the other players at the event their home-to-first running time. All of the information in the videos were produced and published on the showcase's website, PBR, Missouri. There were a few college coaches at the showcase event, too. Sutton got a text from a coach at a JUCO in the St. Louis area. The coach showed interest in Sutton and asked if Sutton was interested in his school. Sutton came to me and we talked about how to respond to this coach. We decided for Sutton to text the coach back and tell him that we will do some research on the school and we will also email the coach some information and videos. The information was Sutton's introductory packet, which includes the introductory email and the player profile and a 2-minute hitting video, a 2-minute pitching video, and a 1-minute basketball highlight video. The intro email also included the link to the PBR Missouri showcase information. So at the beginning of this episode, I asked if you would be ready if a college coach contacted you. What would you do? What would you say? How would you respond? Sutton was ready with his introductory packet, and he asked a family member advice on how to respond to the coach directly, since he didn't know much about that particular college. If you are not familiar with the introductory packet, the introductory email, or the player profile, go back and listen to episode 208 and episodes 200 and 201. You can also go to recruit-me.com for the free Power Pack that includes a download called The First Steps of an Athletic Scholarship. You also get audio explaining when and how to use video, and finally a template to create a player profile and resume. One of Sutton's teammates went to the showcase that I mentioned earlier. His teammate, we will call him Sean for privacy purposes, had a great summer of baseball, mainly pitching. He had a little bit of a sore arm, but finished the season strong. Coaches could not attend games all summer last year, so there was no exposure during the summer after his sophomore year. The player and his family started talking about the parameters of schools that he might want to attend. They started doing research on the schools and developing a list of schools. So Sean and his family were preparing for his junior year. At the PBR Missouri Showcase, Sean had a good bullpen session. He threw a max 88 miles an hour on his fastball, and all his other pitches were good in the bullpen in the showcase. The showcase videos and stats worked its magic, and the college coaches were contacted by Sean's club coaches. His 88-mile-an-hour fastball got college coaches' attention. At least 5 Division I programs contacted Sean. Sean and his family were preparing to send out introductory emails to their list as the high school schedule was getting ready to start. Well, the D1 attention caught them a little off guard. None of the 5 schools were on Sean's original list. So what should Sean do? Sean should contact each school back, thanking them for their interest and telling them that he will do some research on their school. Also, he could ask the coach what information he could send them. Both Sutton and Sean getting contacted by a college coach or coaches before they sent out any of their introductory emails helps both of them to get a feel for where they are in the level of schools to consider. Both should keep all options open. Sutton can look at JUCO, NAIA, Division II, and Division III as probable levels, but still can work toward a D1 program. With improved skills and strength in his upcoming season and him taking the ACT test, Sutton can narrow his school choices. Sutton's actual list of schools to email consists of JUCO, NAIA, Division III, and Division II schools within a 5-hour radius of home and in a climate more like Southwest Missouri or farther south. He has learned a little from his brother going north to the Chicago area and watching Lake Michigan freeze. Sean's level of competition is a little different. Sean and his family can narrow their list to more specific parameters like education, location, and competition. By the way, Sean got a 30 on his ACT, so he can be a little pickier. Getting this early attention from D1 programs helps Sean to get a feel for his possible level of competition, but it doesn't mean that he is limited to just D1 schools. He has been contacted currently by 5 schools that range from SEC conference to mid-majors and high academic schools. He will have to find the right fit for him, competition-wise, academically, the right location, the right feel with the coaching staff, and possible playing time. These factors could lead him to any level, Division III, Division II, or Division I. Between baseball and academics, Sean could get a partial baseball scholarship, combined with academic aid, to pay for all or most of tuition, books, and housing. Depending on your sport, your maturity, and your level of play, a coach can contact you during your freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior year. Coaches have contact rules at each level with each sport, but they have a way to contact student athletes. Camps are a way of talking to a prospective student athlete. Getting the word out for a student athlete to contact them, the coach, is a way to talk to a student athlete. A college coach can get a hold of a high school coach or a club coach and get word out to the student athlete to call the college coach back. So be ready to be contacted and respond and to adjust your school list at any time. The last 10 episodes of 2020 had the 10 myths about athletic scholarships from the Recruit Me 3.0 athletic scholarship system. So here in 2021, I dipped into Appendix C of the Recruit Me 3.0 system for frequently asked recruiting questions from student athletes and their parents. I hope you find this Q&A section helpful. This episode, we will tackle 2 of the questions from the Q&A section. Question: I am not being recruited because of my low ACT scores. What should I do? Answer: as you have discovered, your academics are a big part in your ability to land a scholarship. If you are not being recruited because of your low ATC scores, we would recommend spending a year or 2 in junior college to raise your grades and then pursuing a scholarship once you have the grades. The second question: when should I start the recruiting and scholarship process? Answer: it is good to begin making contact with schools right after your freshman year. You may not have heard much from coaches until you are a junior, though, because that's the class they really focus on. However, if you've already established a relationship through your letters, profiles, questionnaire, and updates, you will stand out in the coach's mind. It is important for you to send stats once you have varsity or club numbers. Listen next week to episode 242 to get the last 2 questions of this question and answer session from the Recruit Me 3.0 athletic scholarship system. The cornerstone resource that sets Recruit Me apart from any other company is the Recruit Me 3.0 athletic scholarship system, available to families to purchase at a fraction of the cost of a service or a consultant. This multimedia system provides an organized and more in-depth plunge into the recruiting world. Recruit Me 3.0 includes how-to videos, multiple fillable forms, email templates, audio interviews, and a step-by-step 100-plus page online manual. As the owner and CEO of Recruit Me, I believe that sports families can pursue and get an athletic scholarship on their own without paying high-priced services. Coaches want to hear from the athlete, not a third party. That is what worked for our oldest son, and we are following the same process for our high school junior. I've seen it work for other families too. So to get the Recruit Me 3.0 athletic scholarship system, go to recruit-me.com/system. The entire system is digital and can be purchased and accessed immediately. We also offer a 90-day money-back guaranteed, so if you are unsatisfied, please just contact me and we will return your money. As a reminder, Recruit Me and the Athletic Scholarship Podcast are great resources for all high school student athletes and any sport. I use baseball a lot through the podcast because that's the sport our family has pursued. But basketball, football, tennis, golf, swimming, cross country, or even bass fishing can use the Recruit Me recruiting techniques. Here is a little in-season update with both Parker and Sutton. Just so you know, being a college player's parents is tough, though. Parker's Northwestern Wildcats have played 2 series so far. The first was in Minneapolis and played a 4-game set against Penn State, and the Wildcats went 2-2, so it was a good weekend. Parker got in and had 2 very good innings, but then gave up a home run. That was tough. Then this weekend, the Wildcats went to Greenville, South Carolina, got to play in a nice minor league park, the Greenville Drive, a Boston Red Sox Single-A affiliate. Parker got into the 4th game to get out of a jam and hold a lead. He got the first batter he faced out, gave up a bloop hit off the end of the bat to make it 1st and 3rd, and 1 out. And then Michigan State's cleanup hitter hit a 3-run homer on a good down-and-out pitch. Sometimes you have to give credit to the other team. These college hitters are good. So Parker became the pitcher of record as the losing pitcher. So we lost the lead, and Parker came out of the game. That is tough to watch, and it is heartbreaking to watch your son walk off the field that way. But it is a team game, and his team rallied to win as our shortstop hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th. Northwestern took the series 3-1. Also, on Friday night, we got to see some history. The Wildcats hit 3 grand slams, 1 in the 1st inning, 1 in the 2nd inning, and 1 in the 3rd inning. I don't think any team has ever hit 3 grand slams in 3 consecutive innings. We will get to see Parker and the Wildcats this weekend in Minneapolis versus Minnesota, so go Cats. Also, Sutton's high school season starts Friday too, so we're anxious to see Sutton play on Friday and Parker play on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Join me next week for episode 242, What Do You Say When You Talk with a Coach? We will tackle specifically what to ask a coach. Please share the Athletic Scholarship Podcast with any of your friends and any family that may be in the recruiting process. Also, if you have any questions or any comments, please email me at brent@recruit-me.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week on the Athletic Scholarship Podcast.